A Russian Ka-52 attack helicopter was reportedly shot down by friendly fire while attempting to repel a Ukrainian drone strike on Russian territory. The incident, which resulted in the loss of the helicopter and its crew, is believed to have occurred when a Russian fighter jet mistakenly identified the Ka-52 as an enemy UAV, the insider reports. A Ka-52 was shot down, unfortunately, with crew losses. It appears to have been hit by our own, a fighter jet engaged, and seems to have mistaken it for a UAV. Apparently, the helicopter was flying nearby and they struck the wrong target. The incident and its causes are currently under investigation, read a message circulated on one of the Russian Telegram channels. According to the insider, this marks at least the 17th documented case of Russian aircraft lost to friendly fire since the beginning of the war, and the second such incident in 2025. Citing its compiled data, the outlet reported that among the total losses are 12 fixed-wing aircraft, including 4 Su-35s, 3 Su-34s and 2 A-50 early warning planes, and 1 each of the Su-27, Su-30 and Il-22, as well as 5 helicopters, 2 Ka-52s, 1 Ka-29 and 1 Mi-24 and 1 Mi-8. This is at least the 17th known loss of Russian aircraft from friendly fire during the war, and only the second in 2025. A total of 12 airplanes and 5 helicopters have been lost this way. The Ka-52, known by NATO's reporting name Hokum-B, is one of Russia's most advanced attack helicopters designed for reconnaissance and precision strikes. Recall recently Russia shot down its own Su-30SM fighter jet over Crimea while its air defense was trying to intercept Ukrainian drones flying to the occupied peninsula and deep inside Russia overnight. Dmytro Pletenchuk, a spokesperson for the Ukrainian Navy, said. Pletenchuk said that the intercepted radio communications revealed that the pilot flying the fighter jet in the northwestern part of Crimea was killed after 2 engines caught fire. The enemy likely shot down its own multi-role fighter while repelling a Ukrainian drone attack using air defense systems, Pletenchuk told the Kyiv Independent. The Ukrainian drone attack appears to have hit a facility near the Vadeskoy airbase in Crimea, and the footages appear to show the oil depot nearby on fire, the Crimean Wind Telegram channel reported. Ukraine's special forces later confirmed that its drones inflicted damage on Vadeskoy's oil depot and a plant, attaching a video supposedly showing the attack from a drone view. The Russian Occupational Administration in Sevastopol has stayed silent on the possible consequences of the Ukrainian attack. Full permission was finally granted to Ukraine to use Western missiles inside Russian territory. The Ukrainian armed forces had a priority target list and started immediately by striking one of the most important drivers of the Russian war machine. The night sky over Bryansk lit up with explosions as Ukraine's Storm Shadow missiles cut through Russian air defenses. Euromaidan press media outlet says. It is noted that Ukraine's Air Force, in coordination with land and naval forces, launched a combined strike with drones saturating the air and depleting the enemy air defense, as Storm Shadow broke through in surprise while the Russians were still unaware of the lifted restrictions. The main target was the Bryansk chemical plant, one of the cornerstones of Russia's military-industrial complex, producing propellants, explosives and components for Kh-59 and other missiles used against Ukrainian cities. Russian monitoring channels issued air raid alerts, warning of Storm Shadow cruise missiles inbound, and local officials initially claimed all had been shot down. Minutes later, videos flooded social media showing fireballs over the region and multiple explosions rocking the industrial area. The plant's ammunition depot reportedly detonated after impact, and production at the site is now irreversibly halted. Bryansk Governor Alexander Bogomaz scrambled to control the narrative, insisting air defense forces destroyed 6 aircraft-type drones. But the published footage told another story. Precision strikes hitting deep into the industrial zone with secondary explosions lasting for hours, Euromaidan Press says. Ukrainian sources confirmed the use of Storm Shadow missiles, marking the first officially acknowledged strike on Russian soil following the US green light for cross-border operations. For months, these British and French-made cruise missiles had been used to devastating effect on Russian-controlled territories in Ukraine, but now they are reaching beyond. The Bryansk strike followed a wave of escalating Ukrainian attacks on strategic Russian defense industry targets. Just days earlier, explosions tore through the Avangard plant in Bashkortostan, more than 1,300 kilometers from Ukraine. The massive blast destroyed the factory's newest production hall, prompting Russian officials to speculate about internal sabotage. Euromaidan Press claims. Soon after, the Sverdlov plant in Zazinsk, one of Russia's largest producers of explosives and warheads for anti-tank and air defense missiles, was obliterated in another long-range drone strike. Fires and explosions were reported at chemical and munitions facilities in Smolensk, Perm and Krasnodar, all critical to sustaining missile and aviation bomb production. One of the most significant hits occurred in Nizhny Novgorod, where Ukrainian drones struck the Azamaz instrument-making plant, a supplier of components for Russia's Kh-101 and Kh-32 cruise missiles, the same weapons that have terrorized Ukraine's cities in recent years. Russian media attempted to minimize the damage, but footage from locals revealed widespread destruction and prolonged fires. For Ukraine, the political and strategic implications of these strikes are enormous. The Storm Shadow missiles have once again demonstrated their lethality and accuracy, penetrating Russia's air defense and crippling high-value military assets. This success will likely accelerate further deliveries, as to date, between 200 and 300 Storm Shadows have been provided, mostly by the United Kingdom and France. Usage has been intense, with Ukrainian sources acknowledging that by early 2025, stocks were nearly depleted. Euromaidan Press says. Production at plants in Britain and France resumed this summer after a 15-year pause. Output is now ramping up, from an initial 10 to 20 missiles per month to a projected up to 50 by 2026, ensuring a steady supply for Ukraine's growing deep strike arsenal. Storm Shadow's effectiveness lies in their combination of range, precision, and payload. With a 450-kilogram warhead, possibility to penetrate and then explode, and a range of 250 kilometers, they are made for taking down hardened targets like factories, bunkers, and depots, objectives that long-range drones cannot destroy completely. As Ukrainian strikes with Storm Shadow prove their worth, calls are growing across Europe to widen Ukraine's access to other long-range systems. The next potential breakthrough could come from Germany, as its Taurus missile, with 550-kilometer reach and advanced bunker-penetrating capability, would give Ukraine an even greater ability to cripple Russia's industry and command hubs far beyond the front.